We send children to schools to strengthen them, but unfortunately, they often come back weakened in Iman, with silent doubts in their mind that they are often too ashamed to even share. Science is incredibly powerful. It is our understanding of the design of Allah's creation. This is knowledge that has the capability to bringing us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, the same science is taught to the children in a way that encourages kufr, disbelief in Allah, that can be detrimental to their iman. Many Muslim children in the world today, from the age of 7 or 8, start questioning whether Allah even exists. Because at school, the place we ourselves send them to learn, is telling them something completely different. It leaves them confused, weakened by silent doubt in their hearts, which often they are too ashamed to even speak of. But inside, it starts eating up their iman. They may start to disregard their salah, think their parents are ignorant, start to disconnect from dua because they feel no one is actually hearing them. There is no God. Or worse, they disconnect completely from Islam, leave Islam. This happens every day. This happens everywhere to children whose parents never could imagine it could happen to them. This may not happen overnight, but the doubt creeps in and keeps eating them up slowly. You wonder why they are not praying anymore, why they don't just care anymore as they used to. You might try different ways to motivate them to pray, but the problem might be much deeper, might be hidden because they are too afraid to share it. The problem may be that they are not even sure that they believe in Allah anymore. According to the recent research by Yaqeen Institute, science has become one of the leading causes of young people leaving in Islam. Do they have yaqeen anymore? Are you sure your children do not have any doubt in their mind? The same science whose foundations were laid by the Muslim scientist is today becoming a reason for thousands leaving Islam. The problem is not science. I love science. The problem is in the way it is being taught to children. All that should be attributed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at school they learn to attribute it to a coincidence. All that carries deep meaning, they learn to only look at it as a random mechanism. And they learn all this from a place where the people whom they trust the most, their own parents, have sent them to learn. All this often creates a great silent conflict in their young minds. Over the last decade, alhamdulillah, I've taught thousands of children from all around the globe. Alhamdulillah, I've been blessed to do that. I've seen this happen to many, many children. Heard questions which I would never have expected from even the young huffaz of the Quran. Questions that if left unanswered may lead them astray. If your child is smart, if your child is intelligent, he or she would question. If they are being taught something else in school, then they are more likely to question the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The problem is not the question. The problem is the lack of a convincing answer which respects their intelligence and doesn't just tell them, be quiet, just believe. You are too young to understand right now, just believe. Science in the Kingdom of Allah course is to give your children a strong foundation of learning science. So when they are learning science at school, they don't forget Allah. Train them to look at the designs as not simply a mechanical coincidence, but rather to reflect and appreciate the grand design of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to know Allah's power, His mercy, and His wisdom through it. It presents an Islamic perspective that gives a direction to their critical thinking and supports them to go a step deeper and see the clever design of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rather than just taking and believing everything as mere coincidence. Inshallah, once they learn to attribute the brilliance, the power of what they're learning to Allah, then even learning science at school would be an iman boosting experience for them.